I never get over my nerves coming up here. This is only my third time up on stage, but I love it.
We love you!
And I've always been told by friends that if you're nervous, just look out there and pretend they're in their underwear. I don't know, I'm looking out there. I've seen some of y'all in your underwear and I'm not ready for that bullshit. You know, I'm not revisiting it again. You know, we've seen it once. Once is enough. You know, I'm one of the oldest comics up here. I think I am the oldest comic up here. You know, I'm so old, they tell me I gotta have notes. You know? And I see these comics, they come up here and they got their, I hate this, got their notes up on their little phones. They got notepads and all that. They got scratchy pieces of paper. I even know a guy, he puts it on his arm. That's his notes. He's reading his notes off his freaking arm. Me, I'm so fucking old. I gotta have notes. Notes. I gotta be able to read my notes. So I apprehended my grandson's write-off board, his whiteboard, that we practice his alphabet on, and use it for my notes so I can actually read them.
I think you already know it.
A couple weeks ago, we had, I'm sorry, here we go. We had Trucker Tim up here. And I want to revisit something that Trucker Tim's a local comedian also. I want to revisit a little thing that he brought up at that time. He talked about going to the super porn store. And I know several of you know where the super porn store is. Y'all can see the look on your face. And he talked about going to the super porn store and they had shopping carts. What the hell? Why do you need a freaking shopping cart at the porn store? You know? So out of my idle curiosity, which I have a lot of idle curiosity and some time on my hands, I decided I needed to visit the Super X porn store.
Yes.
I had never been to a Super X porn store. I don't even go to fucking Walmart because I don't like being in those big places. You know, I get lost in them. I'm old. You know, you get lost. You don't know what the hell you're doing. So there I am, cruising across 44 at 60 miles an hour with my 16-year-old grandson driving and my 81-year-old girlfriend, Miss Jessie, sitting in the back seat. And I realized we're coming up on the Super X porn store, the Super X Mart. So I said to grandson, I said, make a left-hand turn here. He said, what? He said, that's the porn store. I said, and how do you know that? How do you know that that's the porn turn for? You're 16 freaking years old. How do you know it's the porn store? He said, oh, I drive up 44 all the time. I see it all the time. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm rational. I believe him. Really, you know. So there I am. He turns in there, and again, we're on our way to Thanksgiving dinner. So there's nobody in the parking lot. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they're closed. Everybody else is. Publix is closed. McDonald's was even closed. But the freaking porn store was open. So I said, pull up, park there. I said, but you stay in the car, and Jesse, you stay in the car. I got to go in and check something out. So I go in, and I glance around, because I'd never been there, so I wanted to get the lay of the land first. I was the only person in there other than the cashier. So I go up to the register, and I look at the young lady, and she's got a little name tag on. I love people who wear name tags, because I like to call them by their names, so then they don't always realize that they're wearing something like that. So I went on up, I said, well, hey, Roseanne, how are you? And she just looks at me, look, I got two heads, which I sometimes do. And she said, yes, ma'am. I said, well, I was just wondering. I said, I was told that you had shopping carts here. She said, oh, yes, ma'am. I said, well, do you happen to have a mobility cart? I said, do you have a little cart that I can ride around in? And she's like, what? I said, Roseanne, the little cart that the disabled people. She said, oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying to me. She said, I just can't imagine somebody wanting one here. I said, well, they use freaking shopping carts. Why wouldn't the disabled want a shopping cart? And she's like, well, no, ma'am, we do not have mobility carts. I said, I can't believe that this has not been an issue earlier, being you're living in geriatric paradise down here. You know, you got a big ass porn store right next to the Villages, and you're telling me that nobody has come in here and ever asked for a mobility cart?
Oh, she's good.
What the hell? I said, well, Roseanne, I'm sorry, I can't really do any more shopping. Well, I didn't do any, but, you know, because they didn't have a cart for me. I said, well, okay, you know, maybe if y'all get a cart, you know, you might get some more business in here. You know, it's Thanksgiving. Have a good day. Gobble, gobble. But as I was walking out, I glanced around, and anybody who knows me knows that I love a good deal. There was a clearance rack. Can you imagine a freaking clearance rack at the porn store? Were these things that had been returned? Were they defective dildos that had returned them on? You got electrocuted or something? What the fuck comes out on a clearance rack? Well, I had to like hold myself back. Like I said, I love a good deal, but I didn't quite think I was ready for that, you know, right then and there. So I went on. I'm like, no, you know, I don't think I could show up at Thanksgiving dinner at my folks' house and carry in a bag full of dildos, some whipped cream, and a pumpkin pie. I just don't think that would be appreciated. Or maybe some of them would have appreciated if I would have handed out the dildos. A lot of ladies there. But that was my mobility story. You know, I know a lot of you are looking up here and saying, is that somebody's grandma up there?
Yep.
I hope she's not going to tell dick jokes. Well, ladies, I don't tell dick jokes. I haven't seen a dick in so long that I just don't even find that amusing at all. You know. But not to say I haven't seen a few in my life, and I will maybe one. I'm sorry, I zoned out there and I was counting by fives. So, I was a whore. I was a whore when I was younger. But that's okay, you know. I still am, but I just don't see dicks anymore, you know. That's just how it is. But let me look at these notes again. I'm old, I forget stuff, you know. Let's see, we did porn shop, we did nervous, we did no dick jokes. Let's talk about, anybody here raise chickens? No? We got no chicken raisers in here? Come on, you know some of you are. You know, don't hide your, come out of the closet, you a chicken raiser. Well, several years ago, I got a notion out of my idle curiosity. There I am again with that freaking idle curiosity and too much time on my hands. And I said, you know, price of eggs is going up. And that was back when they were only up to $3. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to raise some chickens. I had heard that, you know, it was easy to raise, and, you know, I knew people that raised chickens and stuff. So I said, well, I'm going to do that. And I researched it, and I looked at coops, and I thought I was ready. Well, then I read in the paper that the Extension Service, the Farm Bureau Extension Service was having Chicken University. Has everybody ever heard of Chicken University? No. Well, it's a fun day. I signed up, and there I was in a room with about 100 other chicken raiser wannabes. And after 3 hours or so, I graduated. You know, I had matriculated. I was part of Chicken University. I was alumni. But the only thing that I had learned in Chicken University was I didn't want to raise no fucking chickens. They worst thing in the world to try to raise is those damn chickens. They everywhere. And they always come home. You know, they always return to their roost. So even if you left the gate open, they're still going to come home at night. You can't get rid of them. You know, they like your older children. They're always back for some reason or not, you know, or another. I can't ever figure it out. Well, I think I'm probably close to the end of my set. I see a light blazing at me. So I just want to ask everybody to remember me. I'm Norma Jean, and I hope you've had fun, and I hope I made a couple of you laugh. And if I didn't, screw you, you know? I don't care. I'm not getting paid for this. But remember me, I'm Norma Jean, because I'm depending on you, because someday I may not remember who I am. Thank y'all very much.